Talking about your dad, you tattooed a nipple on him, like on his back, or where was it? On his back? I saw it.
My dad.
Why?
Because I had to practice, man.
The Chesco Show.
Welcome to the Chesco Show. My name is Mark Chesco.
What's up, Mark?
And this is Aubrey Vinay. That's not funny. Okay. Today we have my friend Tam over. Hi, Tam.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Our
pleasure to have you today.
Yeah. I'm really, really excited that you're here. My English is
perfect,
rusty right now, but whatever. Can you tell us what you do?
Of course.
Which is amazing.
It's going to blow your minds, guys.
Yeah.
It's I feel really lucky to have discovered this as a profession. I can't even call it that. I feel like it's more of a passion project than a profession. I'm a paramedical tattoo artist. So it's probably a confusing term for many people. In reality, I tattoo nipples for breast cancer survivors. And it's pretty cool. Thanks, Kat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing it. I fell into it sort of by luck or stars aligned. I didn't even know about it not too long ago, a few years ago. So
I remember, well, she offered me a tattoo one day and she just wanted to try tattooing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a random tattoo. And she did this one. You can't really tell, but I have probably a picture somewhere. And I was
so
more
nervous.
than happy. It was your first black one. But Tamara is the best at nipples for real.
it's so weird to say.
But seriously, because she's really good in realism, like just drawing, tattooing, like you can see here. That was like her first one. That's crazy to me.
Wait, that was your first black tattoo?
Like one of the maybe like the third
tattoo.
one, yeah.
But definitely the first realistic one.
Yeah, this was the biggest project up to now, actually. I still, I'd like to do more traditional tattoos, but I've I feel like the last 2 years, all I've been drawing is nipples. And I don't know what to draw anymore. Like I'm lacking inspiration. So maybe we can spend more time together. That's why I want to do creative days to
we have
just
one
find
schedule.
a bit more style so that I can maybe expand my artistic skills. But so far it's mostly nipples and what you have on your arm.
So I just want to make sure that people understand how like you're the best at what you're doing. But you've been trained by someone and now you see professional work from everywhere around the world and you can see the flaws of this work and you know that you can work that flaws. And so basically my point is just like you're the best. We can cut this part.
No, we're going to applaud again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But like
I
she's
still
even
have a
better
lot to
than
learn.
teachers and
I know.
because you really have the eye. You need the eye for realism. I do realism as well, and like you're standing on a gold mine. What's the most difficult thing about tattooing nipples?
So many things. Number one, it's dealing with scar tissue, especially with the type of job that I do. I'm not working on healthy skin ever. So it's really, every case is different. It's not like traditional tattooing where I take my needle. I'm like, I know that if I put this in the skin, the end result's going to be something cute. Oftentimes, actually, the end result, I always warn my patients, my clients, I'm like, unfortunately, you won't, despite us wanting the grand reveal, oftentimes everything's really red and swollen once I finish. So even for me, it hurts my ego almost because I work so hard at it and I want to see what it's going to look like, but I have to wait a little bit so that everything calms down and the tissue is a bit more less angry. And then finally I asked them, could you send me a little picture so that I can see how things are healing? And So that's a big one.
It's so important that they send you that.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
I want to see the healed thing. You know, when I shop for a tattoo or microblading or face something, like you want to see it healed after 2 months. It looks so much better, less red. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Do everybody send you the after pictures?
Yeah, I sometimes a bit more annoying than other times because I'm
need to.
persistent. I really want to see, and I want them to be happy. That's the most important one thing, actually. I always do the tattoos over 2 sessions, though, so I do end up seeing the first session healed,
Perfect.
and then we work on the foundation that's been based already. So. These tattoos are done over 2 sessions. The first one is basically almost the entire work, but I'm very conservative, especially when I'm matching, let's say, an existing areola. So say if a woman had breast cancer or a man, on one side, I do my best to match the other. And especially when they're super pale, you have to dilute your pigments a lot, because that's why I'm very conservative. I'd rather it too pale at first and then I add color.
Yeah,
Then I go
definitely.
too dark and then you're like, well, sorry. This
Yeah.
is what it is.
Sorry. Is it emotionally hard for the patient?
I
Client?
think it's person dependent. I've had people who haven't had nipples for 8 to 10 years and they haven't seen their breasts. They basically have blank canvases on their chests and they've been okay with it, or they don't look at themselves in the mirror ever. So I have to say there's every story, every case is so special, and I'm actually getting like goosebumps now because it's all very special. And I remember one woman was totally shocked when she saw herself in the mirror. She didn't recognize what she was seeing and she said, I have to process it. And of course I don't take it personally at all. Like I completely understand it's a big thing. It's like something huge changed on your body. So there's that. Then there's like the super excited ones like, holy crap. You see it all. Then there's heavy moments as well, because we do relive a bit of all the trauma that they've gone through. The door is always open to talk about anything that they'd like. I don't necessarily want to open that discussion for them unless they do want to talk about it. You're holding the bone.
Yeah, there was a lot of
For the
noise.
audio, Matt is holding like a what's that word?
A bone.
A bone. Sorry. And Philou is eating it. That's the ASMR in the background.
Philou is the cutest little curly boy.
Just so people know, your tattoos are permanent.
Yes, they
Perfect.
are permanent. So there's 2 ways in this industry of paramedical tattooing, and the way I see it, it shouldn't fall under permanent makeup or semi-permanent makeup. Semi-permanent makeup, there's trends. You want your eyeliner a certain way. You want your lip blush. There's even cheek blush now. There's freckles. There's eyebrows. So many things. So that's okay to fade with time because you might want to change it up. I don't see any woman wanting fading nipples ever.
Exactly.
Ever, unless that's going to be the newest trend. The world is weird, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, maybe
But-
for first time, someone's not sure they want it. Maybe, but permanent tattoo, they never really fade away completely.
Yeah, I know. You mean
Semi-permanent.
makeup?
Yeah,
I
sorry.
know. It all has to do with like the pigment selection. It's also like how deep you put it. A lot of people have a heavy hand, and I'm probably guilty of that sometimes. I'm very conscious to not have a heavy hand, but it's very easy to, especially when you're focused, to go a little bit deeper. That's oftentimes that results in like a bluish hue in your eyebrows as well, or depending
Sometimes it kind of like bleed a little bit when
Yeah.
you go too deep. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess it's not that bad if it bleeds for a nipple because it looks kind of like natural if it bleeds a little bit.
Yeah,
But you want it to be perfect. You're a perfectionist for sure.
I do my best, but at the same time, like I feel like a perfect nipple is an imperfect nipple because there's no such thing as like a perfect circle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
His painting is the same motto he's saying, basically.
Yeah, it's alive, like it's moving. It cannot be like a perfect sphere. I feel like the human body, the only perfectly circular thing is your eyeball. Like nothing else is always the same. I don't even know if an eyeball is a perfect circle. I guess so.
I guess the irises.
Yeah, it looks
Not everybody's. There's a trend of heart-shaped nipples.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
No, I haven't.
What's the trend?
Heart-shaped. So there's some girls that get
Heart-shaped.
surgery to get them heart-shaped. But
They
I bet
do?
if you...
Surgery?
Yeah, it looks kind of cool.
I've never seen it
love
surgically
it.
done. I've only seen tattoos.
Can you tattoo it on top of a regular nipple?
Yeah.
Oh,
You could.
should I do it?
Maybe semi.
I don't know why I'm looking at him. It's
Do
my
it, Mark.
decision. I won't do it. But
I think it's so cute.
that's kind of cool.
I think it's super
Get the
cute.
fading one.
The fate. Oh, no, I'm just not gonna touch.
Heart-shaped
I'm not.
nipples. Heart-shaped
So-
areolas.
So sorry. You looked at me when you said freckles because
Because you're so cute.
I tattooed my face with regular ink, and I tattooed freckles on my face.
Wait, your freckles are not real? No way.
No, and
Are
Tamara,
your nipples real?
They are.
Oh, okay.
She also does tattoo removal. So you have laser tattoo removal, and you have Tamara's way, which is a saline
Yeah.
solution that basically you tattoo on top of your tattoo with, instead of ink, the solution ish.
You're so good to have retained that. Exactly. That's exactly it.
It's fascinating. It's painless. I tried laser. I tried tattoo removal with saline solution. It's painless. It heals in 4 days every single time for me. Not for everybody. We heal differently. I don't feel like there's no scarring. There maybe will be some scar tissue after probably 20 sessions, but for now there's none.
Yeah. It's pretty gentle. It's a gentle technique. But for sure, if a lot has been done, like you might develop a bit of thickening of the skin.
It's fading after one session. So it's I really, really love this technique. Anybody that has microblading that won't fade or staining, change color, this technique is the best. My opinion.
Thanks, girl.
Opinion. And should get it. And I don't think, do you know anybody else in Quebec that does it?
There must be, but of course, I guess my eyes are more open to Quebec, tattoo artists than saline removal people. I'm sure permanent makeup artists do offer it.
Okay.
They must.
Okay.
Because
So
if I know
ask,
about it, maybe other people do know about it. There's this magnetic ink removal as well. That I'm not too sure what it is. But yeah, saline it's a natural technique. That's why I love it a lot, because you're not injecting weird things into your body. It's a all natural saline solution. So basically it's by osmosis, if anyone remembers their science class.
I remember.
What is osmosis, Audrey Vanny?
Oh, me. The real Audrey is me. It's when the thing goes out of the thing.
Yeah.
That's basically all we have to know. Yeah. So you put salt, and salt attracts water. And in that water, that free-flowing fluid is the pigment ink. So since you're putting salt, it attracts... Oh, ASMR. It attracts the salt, the water. And then in that water, once you scab... That's it. So there's a bit of an ugly phase. You do heal really quickly. Mm-hmm. There's a bit of an ugly phase where you have to allow whatever you're doing to dry and to scab. And it's in that scab that you're going to be finding that pigment. So with every session, it gets lighter and lighter. It's not magic. You do have to be consistent and come as many times as you have to come. I don't know, even for you, we'll stop when you're happy with the result.
Yeah.
You know.
So I've had one session, but that doesn't really count because I re-tattooed on top of it. And I don't want them gone completely because like I do have some natural one. I just wanted more. I just want them faded. So I think 3 sessions will be the best for me. And now I want to talk about your background.
Yo, I have so many questions. It's crazy.
Go for it.
I'm just here waiting for the right moment to ask my
Yeah.
questions.
Your turn.
I have no idea what you're gonna ask me, so yeah.
No,
go
because
for
I'm
it.
really intrigued because like it's a job that's really niche. Like there's not hundreds of people who do this in like Montreal or even probably like Quebec. You said there's only a few people in Montreal that do it.
Yeah, and I've never actually met them. It's small. My community is people all over the world. Like I have a friend, shout out Heather. I've never met her in person, but I care about her so much. And now she lives in Charlotte, wherever Charlotte is. It's not close. It's south.
That's my dinosaur sound from my throat. Sorry.
So we are like a small community. Most of us know each other, and we support each other as much as we can. We learn off of each other.
Yeah, but my question is like, because I'm pretty sure there's no 5-year-old dreaming of becoming a nipple tattoo artist. So
Very
how did you
possible.
like become one? Like what happened? Like, because I'm sure it's a really gratifying job.
It really
I'm sure
is.
it's really fun, and you get to meet like interesting people with interesting stories. But how did you end up doing this?
Well, I was sleeping one night, and it came in a dream. That's not true. That's a joke. This is my side job. Everything that we've described so far, it's my second job. It's not necessarily my side job because it occupies just as much of my time as my other job. I'm a respiratory therapist and I work in surgery. So basically that's quickly for anyone who doesn't know what a respiratory therapist is. I'm going to say RT for short. So if I continue saying RT, it's respiratory therapist. I was working in surgery 3-ish years ago, and basically I stay at the head of the bed. I assist the anesthetist, the doctor, to put the patient to sleep so that the surgeon can properly do his job. So we stay at the head of the bed and we monitor vital signs. We adjust medication. We make sure that the patient is asleep and comfortable during the entire procedure. So while I was at work, one particular case that touched me a lot, it was a woman who was heavily affected from cancer, and it had spread, unfortunately. And she had a shaved head and tattooed eyebrows, and we were going to put her to sleep so that she can get a mastectomy. So it was a very heavy moment, and I basically had tears in my eyes as I was holding the mask so that she falls asleep. And then during the surgery, I was just talking to the surgeon. I hadn't seen many mastectomies at this point. It was one of maybe the first ones, or it definitely was an a particularly impactful one. They're all impactful, of course, and every case is so important. So I was talking to the surgeon, and she is the one who was explaining to me what happens after a mastectomy once your breasts are removed, how reconstruction works, the options of reconstruction, where you can have expanders, and basically it's like an implant that they put in your chest, or you can have a flap, a DIEP flap, which is they take a piece of your lower abdomen and they sew it back on your breast.
But in those cases, the nipple's not there, right?
Most cases, the nipple is removed. Some places do offer nipple sparing mastectomies if it's possible, if they're able to, medically speaking. So this is when she had mentioned, when it comes to the nipple, she did mention sometimes we can save it. Sometimes we surgically, basically they take a piece of the skin and they twist it sort of like a pretzel, and they create an artificial nipple. So it's 3D. but it doesn't have color, obviously. It's your natural skin tone. And it's like little bloop scar tissue.
Have
And
you tattooed that yet?
yeah, I do it very often. A lot of surgeons that I
So
work
it's
with.
like 3D now.
Yeah, there's like a bit of 3D-ness. It does flatten over time. Like initially when it's done, it looks a little intense. Like it could be a good 1.5 centimeters out projecting. So it flattens with time. And sometimes it flattens to a point where, unfortunately, it was, I don't want to say for no reason, but the ones I see, oftentimes it's pretty flat. So it's maybe one extra procedure that could have been avoided. But of course, that's to the discretion of every person. And it happens sometimes and it doesn't other times. So yeah, you can tattoo over that, or you can tattoo totally on a flat canvas, as I say as well. And it was this doctor who told me about nipple tattooing at that moment. And I feel like the world opened up and
You wanted to do something on.
Oh, no, just mine.
Our dog is drinking Matt's water.
My name is Audrey.
Audrey. No, Andrea.
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 So you wanted to change that. Like you wanted to be part of that process.
So much that it's all, you can ask my boyfriend, my dad, everyone. I kept saying, this is going to be my long-term plan. One day I'm going to do this. And I'm very much someone, I'm extremely impulsive. I decide like this.
Not me.
We all are.
I tattooed my face.
I pierced my own tongue when I was 14.
Ouch.
Never do it. Never. I'm
Don't
fine.
do this at home.
Never do it at home. Ever.
Wait, you did it yourself?
I did. Look,
How did you do that?
I'm not going to say because then people are going to have terrible ideas.
Yeah.
Say if there's a kid who's going to watch this and
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So bad.
I'll tell you later. I survived. But as I was doing it, I was like, maybe I
That's
should write a note
crazy.
to my family because this is the dumbest thing I've ever done.
So you were alone at home and
Yeah.
you pierced your tongue.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what
Sorry,
you were
Papa.
saying.
Oh, yeah.
You're impulsive, so you decided to just do it.
I couldn't stop thinking about it. I wanted to do it. Initially, I said maybe 5, even 10 years down the line, because at that point, I was maybe 6 years into my respiratory therapy career, and I do love it. But there's definitely an artistic side of me that lacks so much. Like before studying RT, I studied art. So from RT to artiste, I guess.
Yeah. That's a cool name.
You studied art. What kind of art?
Was it in high school
college?
you were?
I went to Cégep Saint Laurent.
Oh, yeah. We went to the same cégep,
Oh,
which is college for...
yeah, it's like
Americans and-
pre-uni, I guess.
Yeah. It's like when you go there when you're like 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, exactly. You can
Can't believe we went to this.
such a good.
I always
school.
forget.
I ended up transferring to Vanier in the end just because I couldn't do the French. It was hard.
They're it's like one of the most intense college for the French
Yeah.
part.
Because your first language is Armenian. And
Armenian.
then you learned English second.
Yeah.
And then French.
Yeah, and
So French was your third language. And you were studying in French.
Wow.
I
I
was.
can't imagine.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was just so hard. I was putting so much focus into my French classes instead of my art projects, and in the end, I was.
It was so, dude. That's my
Dude.
that's my my strength.
French?
French, and I haven't finished it. Like I'm missing like one exam.
Really?
The final exam?
Yeah.
You haven't done the final
No, because
exam?
I was studying theater and
Oh, cool.
I needed to like practice, and I just like didn't go to my exam, and it was the hardest class I've ever had in my entire life. The French, well, it's literature, they call
Yeah.
it literature. It changed my life, my vocabulary, the way I read, the way I talk. Like it's so intense. I can't imagine someone who speaks English and Armenian going there and not like burn out.
I tried. Honestly, I tried. And I feel like a lot of people have it so much harder because I do speak French. It's not that I'm like, but I did start speaking French when I was 15. And I remember in high school, because I also went to an all Armenian school until I was in secondary 3. So until I was 15, but in the middle of the school year, I was so unhappy. I just needed to expand my horizons. You know, you're a teenager. I had discovered Angelina Jolie and her like heaviness. And I just wanted I was a bit of not a rebel like in a bad way, but I was rebelling. You know, I got a mohawk and they were calling me a boy at school. And this was before like androgyny was a thing. And I was just so unhappy. So I switched schools and I didn't have a choice but to go to French school. And that's when, man, was it ever a culture clash. It was such a culture clash. But I picked it up quickly and I had boyfriends who were French and a lot of French friends. But I remember in high school once my teacher said, we had une composition écrite, like a
French redaction.
Yeah. A text to write, and the teacher said, I do not want you guys starting your sentence with blah, 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 blah. And I look at my paper, it's exactly what I've said. It's exactly what she said. And I just look, I'm like, but I don't know how else to say it. I literally don't have more words in my vocabulary. But anyway, we went through it. And Cégep Saint Laurent, despite the French, is such a great art school.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. People walk there, they have no shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
The
Pajama.
hippiest. Yeah, I would go to school
too.
in pajamas all the time. Such a good school.
And wait, I want you to precise, what was your Angelina Jolie face?
Oh, yeah.
It was
there's this there is this movie called Beyond Borders that I saw. It's Angelina Jolie and Clive Owen, and that movie, Girl Interrupted.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That one in particular.
She plays a rebel piece of shit, basically.
Yeah, and I was never a rebel piece of shit. I'd like to think I wasn't. No, it was always nice, but I was just like heavy.
Yeah.
And I also got a tattoo when I was 14. Like I drew my tattoo in class in Armenian school, and then my sister took me to Marché aux Puces that Friday, which is a flea market in Laval, and there was a tattoo artist there. So she didn't even know what she was dropping me off for. It used to be we were so lame. We used to hang out at the flea market on Fridays. So she dropped me off, and then she picks me up. I'm like, I got a tattoo, and it said strength in Armenian. I still have it. I don't regret it. But I was like deep, you know,
That's
I like
cute.
a teenager, teenager or most teenagers who are going through a phase and they feel deep, and not that I don't anymore, but just like you need attention or you need to feel more. That was my Angelina Jolie phase. And I say that because I just used to read up so much about her past, and she was troubled and I was a little troubled. I mean, most teenagers have
But
a bit
inside you were more edgy like her.
Yeah. No, she was a big influence for me growing up. I can't even right now. I really couldn't care less about her life. Like, not that I don't care about her, but you know, she's a celebrity. But when I was 14, 15, I thought she was super cool. And I shaved my head. I had a mohawk.
Wait, so you had a mohawk?
Yeah, just
Both sides of your head were shaved?
Yeah.
Oh my
I want to
god!
see pictures.
I'll pull them.
Did you put color in your mohawk, or
No,
it's
the
just
mohawk-
natural color?
It was just brown hair, but I've had other colored hair as well.
That's crazy. And how did your parents react? Like, must have thought you were crazy, or
My dad, we had a wedding that summer in Paris. He's super chill, my dad. He just looks at me and he starts laughing. He's like, Tamara, we have a wedding in France to go to. What is this? And he just laughed at me. And as I laughed, cried in front of him, and my grandma was there. She's like, it's okay, you're beautiful.
Oh.
It was not more dramatic than that. I rocked it pretty well. I
Talking
think.
about your dad, you tattooed
Yeah.
a nipple on him, like on his back, or where was it? On his back? I saw
Yeah. My dad...
why?
Because I had to
Practice.
practice, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't want to start tattooing breast cancer survivors and previvors just like, hey, let me try. I mean, you have to be good at your skill before you can't experiment. You should not. Ever.
That's why you call people's bodies canvases.
Canvases.
So where is it? In the lower back or?
Two here.
She covered it up pretty nicely.
There's two.
There's two nipples in her back.
On
his back.
Yeah. And they're like this, one next to each other. One of them was for my graduation nipple, basically, so that I can get my diploma. And the other one was just to continue practicing. It's so funny. One funny story is that my dad, he's turning 75 next week. So he's an old man. He's like, who's going to see my body? Like, here, take whatever. But he's also like extremely traditional Armenian dad. Wasn't happy when he had seen my tattoos when I was growing up. Super supportive at the same time. And now like I have tattoos everywhere and I just show him. He's like, oh, it's really nice. I mean, he might say, don't you think it's enough there? But then he sees like the masterpiece artwork is like, it's really beautiful. So these two tattoo nipples were there on his back. He didn't really care until he went to the doctor's office. And he forgot that he had nipples on his back. So he had to do like a heart test, an ECG, where you have to remove your shirt and they put electrodes all over and they monitor your heart. So he forgot and he noticed like the nurses were giggling and it just went over his head. Okay. And then walking out, he calls me. He's like, Tamara, they were laughing and it just clicked. Why? They were looking at my nipples. He's like, we have to cover it. So I ended up covering it with a super cute childhood picture of me and my dad from 1993. I was like 2 years old. It's the most epic picture I've ever seen ever. Like for me, it has my heart. It's my dad, and who's like a hefty man, and he's on a scooter in Cuba. We were in Varadero. He was on a scooter, like sort of like a Vespa, but bigger wheels, like a dirt bike. Neither of us have any helmets, obviously, back in the day, Cuba. And I'm behind him and I'm hugging him like this, but like this is my dad and this is me and it's like this. So I ended up tattooing that photograph on his back, and those two nipples, areolas, were the tires of the wheels. So it's like our hidden secret.
I want to see this.
Oh yeah, I'll show you.
Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah. I can pop it up now, or I'll show you after. It's such a special story. I love telling this story. We used to have it as a secret, like no one knew that I had done that to my dad.
Oopsie, sorry.
No, but
Happy
we openly
birthday,
talking about it. No, he tells his friends too now. It's a funny story.
Oh, that's crazy.
When you had your rebellious period, were you doing any art?
Yes, a lot. So much more than I do now. I used to do it all the time. I'm sure you were like that too. Like my hand was always busy.
Surprisingly not.
No.
I was paralyzed with like...
I feel like I'm a
Not
little
doing
paralyzed now. I was doodling all the time, like napkins, tests, exams, the back of the paper. I had some pretty cool things. I even think about it now. I'm like, I could turn that into a tattoo. So yeah, definitely heavily inspired by my emotions.
What was your biggest dream back then? Dream or
question.
what you wanted to do with your life older?
It's funny because I always dreamt of art and medical stuff all the time. Growing up, I was obsessed
So
with.
you're doing your dream life.
You like again, like I have so much. So much.
Good
Yeah.
for you. That's really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. Honestly, I'm really grateful to have. I feel like the stars aligned for me to be able to be here, and I touch wood to say that because I do feel grateful. But I had to do every single thing that I did to be able to be where I am now. Like I had to work at the Children's Hospital in intensive care, and then get so tired of that and quit literally 2 weeks before COVID happened so that I can get hired at this private surgery place so that I can see a mastectomy there, so that surgeon can tell me about it. And then I get trained, and I had an artistic background. And then I work in private surgery now, so I don't stop meeting these surgeons, these awesome people. So my field is helping me in my other field. It's
sure.
like I feel blessed, and we say in Armenian or Greek like tututu, you know, like don't let the spirits hear. I mean,
so
I just don't want
cute.
to jinx it, because it's I'm happy. I'm still it's an ever growing, it's my baby. It's my baby business. Half the time, not in terms of tattooing, in terms of background stuff, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think
Nobody
I don't know
knows
what I'm
what-
doing when I'm tattooing.
But the goal is for you to do that full time.
I think so. I feel
You will. We'll do everything in our power.
you're so
you do.
sweet. Thank you. I
pleasure.
think so. I'm being an RT is sort of still part of my identity as well, and I don't feel quite ready to just say, "Oh, that's it." But seems like things are going that way, and I'm happily accepting it. And I don't have like a mission or a plan. I'm literally allowing things like Tetris to fall back, like the blocks to fall. the way
And
they're supposed
you know,
to.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut the
No,
end
no,
of your
I'm
sentence.
done.
Being an arty, like it seems such like a serious place to be, a serious work, but there's a lot of drama, right? Like I bet it's like there's a lot of women in that industry,
Yeah.
and there must be a lot of competition as well, because I think one thing comes with the other most of the time in work industry.
I can't say there's competition in when it comes to respiratory therapy because we all get paid the same thing, and we're there for the well-being of the patient. But
That's good to hear.
yeah, it's not competition at all. I think in stressful environments, because I don't want to talk bad about anything.
Oh, no, that
any of
wasn't my point. I'm so
no,
sorry.
No, not at all. No. No, I didn't think it like that. But what I can say is that in stressful environments and situations, you don't necessarily see the best of a person. And oftentimes, like even when literally life or death scenarios, you can be a little short with somebody, but after the moment has passed, like we always huddle up again and, reiterate, I guess, or there's a word that I can't find right now. Just
Hug.
hug. Sometimes you need a hug. That's a good way to put
Well,
it.
I
yeah.
don't like. Maybe we can cut this part. I don't know what's like the meaning of my question. Like I don't know why I asked that. I wasn't trying to
We're keeping this.
take
It's too good.
to. I wasn't trying like
No.
to gossip or anything. It's just
You want
it
the
fascinates
drama.
me. No, not even
The
like
juicy stuff.
I don't know why. Like I really want this to be cut.
It can be cut. I don't mind.
We're
Sorry, I
keeping
didn't want
it.
to. I just what was I gonna say? But it's true that it's a woman's world, and we know how we can
like
be
that.
sometimes.
Basically, what I said was I'm a little bit misogyne. It's not how I wanted to say it. I'll try to find the next question. Do you have a next question?
I have a million questions.
Shoot. Do we have just the track of time just to? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's
38 minutes, right?
minutes.
We've been talking for 38 minutes.
We
Yeah.
can talk for any time you want.
so
Usually we
fast.
end it after an hour.
Let's talk until one of us passes out.
I'm about to pass out. I'm so hungry. I forgot to eat.
So there's like 2 minutes left to this
no,
podcast.
I'm good to continue.
But
But
I was
want you to
wondering,
talk.
so you only do nipples. I mean, you don't only do nipples. You said it earlier, but is there something similar to nipples that people get often tattooed? Like I don't know, lips or buttholes.
I don't know. I've heard of people who get that tattooed, but
I mean, there's eyebrows for
Yeah.
sure.
But that's
Well,
semi-permanent. Some people get it permanent. But
Exactly.
It's not popular, right?
well, let's see. Well, in permanent makeup or semi-permanent makeup, you can get lip blush. I don't offer these services, by the way. I just do like medical stuff, but you can get your lips tattooed. You can get freckles or beauty marks. You can get eyebrows tattooed.
You can get foundation.
You can get foundation. Yes, it's
Concealer.
called BB something.
I don't know.
BB glow.
Basically, like I was gonna say genre. Basically, it's like a filter for your face. They tattoo the color. They match because we have so many types of colors in our face. They kind of like match everything.
A colleague of mine does that. It's not as scary as it sounds though, because the needles you're using are called nano needles, and they're actually not pointy. They're not supposed to be anyway, because it would be pretty weird to tattoo your whole face. Like it's more superficial. You don't pass the second layer of the skin, or you're not supposed to. Yeah, she does it, and it seems to give really nice results. And in terms of paramedical tattooing, I do nipples. I can do, say if someone gets a finger amputated, I could tattoo nail beds on their fingers.
Oh.
If you get surgery and you lose your belly button, when you get a tummy tuck, I could recreate a belly button.
That's awesome.
Do you do birthmarks as well?
People have asked me like birthmarks that look like stars and what. So far, I've actually haven't accepted.
You want that, huh?
But
You want that
I don't see why I shouldn't be doing it if someone's going to be happy with it. Because I work with a lot of like skin tones, obviously. So some people really are looking for that beautiful like pinky beige hue, and it's not necessarily offered in a lot of tattoo studios.
Yeah, tattoo studios often don't have all the skin colors.
Yeah.
Especially the dark ones.
Yeah.
I've seen your stuff. You have every color. You also cover scars, right?
Yes.
Sometimes scars are white or hyperpigmented or pink. And you do a pretty good job covering it up.
Thank
we
you.
see that it's 3D because it's big scars, but it almost disappear. Like when you just look at it, it's crazy. What just a little bit of color can do.
Yeah.
It's subtle. It's very like subtle, the change you can make, but then when you see it, it's big change.
You're such a good
I
hype
don't know
girl.
how to talk. I can't speak.
No, that's exactly it. Scar camouflage. It's a really cool technique. It does require multiple sessions to achieve like a good, happy result. But basically, I can cover any type of scar when it comes to paler ones that like are white on your skin, or dark ones, brown, red, pink, whatever you want. They have to be healed a minimum of 6 months, even up to a year, depending on how they're looking. Oftentimes we have to do a patch test to make sure that you're a good candidate. And then, we can we can, I can't use the word disappear because they'll never disappear, but we can improve their appearance.
It was my lack of vocabulary.
No, I don't think you
basically.
said disappear. No,
I just said that.
Did you?
Guilty. I want to talk about the social media aspect because that's an issue. But so far, she has to take before and after pictures of nipples.
Oh, it gets taken down.
Yeah, TikTok hates me.
Especially TikTok.
Yeah.
Instagram, it's going well for you. Like it's surprising.
Because a wonderful, wonderful artist about a year ago, or I guess it was a group of people, decided to build a community and give a list to Instagram of all these nipple artists who just want to expose their work and create awareness and like create a portfolio essentially. Because whether you like it or not, social media, like I'm sure Matt, you can contest to it, is so important. People discover you this way. People,
it's your portfolio.
Yeah, it really is, and it's so important. So, I'm part of this list. That's why I'm not getting flagged. Sometimes
You're part of the list. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm part of the list of tattoo artists.
And
who
can
are
people
allowed.
Is it just for
added?
Instagram, the list?
Yes, but at the same, I can't remember. It might be for Facebook as well, because Facebook doesn't seem to be bothered by my posts.
It's kind of related now. Isn't it?
Maybe that's
I don't
why.
know. Can someone be added on that list?
It's a good question. Perhaps. I think so. 'Cause
Everything's possible, I guess.
it's because this woman had given us a deadline, and I keep saying this woman because I can't remember which particular artist it was, so I apologize. But we had a deadline, and you had to submit your name, and that list was given. So I'm sure that it could be retroactive, or it could like be more in the future. But for now, I feel I just gave my name basically. I didn't have to go through much complicated things.
Do you need to write a disclaimer under every picture? This is a tattoo.
I don't need to, but I oftentimes do. I feel like I haven't lately, but I used to go, please do not report. In
Yeah, 'cause
capital
people
letters, this is a
report
medical
stuff.
tattoo.
Wow.
Yes, it's the report part. Sometimes that is the worst because your post might not be taken down, but then somebody reports it, and then it gets approved and deleted.
I guess that's what happened. A
Sometimes.
few times, even though I was on the list,
Actually, I don't know. I'm talking like as if I know, but I think so. But I don't know. I've never had a post removed. But I've heard that it's most of the time, especially TikTok, it's report. Or
Are you on Twitter?
nope, I have never.
Because I know on Twitter you can post whatever you
Yeah.
want. And there are
Really?
nudity and stuff like that.
yeah.
Never
No.
seen it myself. But I know some people told
I've
me.
seen it myself.
No, I feel like it's so much to keep up with, and I'm not saying I don't like social media. I'm saying I hate it because I love it. I spend too much time on my phone scrolling and posting, and it's become an extension of my hand. And
Now it's Philou, the
You're not
extension
alone.
of your
Oh,
hand, by the way. Philou is snuggling with Tam right now. He's like, he loves her.
He kept barking when I came, but now we're basically lovers.
Oh, yeah. I saw a statistic. They said in Brazil a few years ago, people spent on average like 8 hours on their cell phone every day.
I spend
I think it was
way
like
more
even
time than
9
that.
hours.
I have a huge problem. I need to go into cell phone rehab.
You should. I mean, if you think it's a problem, I'm
It
saying you
is.
should because I feel like I should.
You're not that bad.
Scroll.
I can tell.
I deleted my TikTok.
You're busy. You have a life. I don't.
Stop.
You deleted TikTok?
Yeah, a few months ago.
I have to.
It's
How's life without TikTok?
I have to like lift my head now and look around.
Do you get
Is
bored?
it
Mom?
I
boring?
feel like my posture's better. No, it's not boring, but that's the thing. It was like instant gratification per scroll, and it's you could spend hours on it. And life is better, but at the same time, Instagram has reels now, and now I'm
YouTube
trying to
has
do
shorts.
YouTube has shorts,
And it's like
You can't
shittier
get away from
content.
it.
So you spend the same time or maybe a little bit less, but you don't learn as much as you were on
chasing the
TikTok.
high.
Instagram is sucks.
Is sucks.
Whatever I just said.
Instagram is sucks.
Cozy and warm.
That's right. You always has my back. He agrees with me. But if you ever do buttholes, let me know. I know some people would really want this.
Let's create an NFT with it.
Oh.
Let's do nipple
You
NFTs.
should do NFTs of nipples, and like they're like gift cards, or like if somebody buys one, then this person can burn the NFT and get the NFT like tattooed.
That sounds pretty cool. I'm not
I know a
sure
few
what an
people
NFT
do it.
is.
I know a few tattoo artists who do this kind of stuff,
But it's
and
not
that's
nipples.
not true. But
Okay,
you should do it.
I'm believing everything you say right now because I don't speak NFT yet. I see cute pictures and congratulations on your success with it. I basically follow you and your NFTs, but I don't know anything more than that.
Same.
It's really NFT is just a weird word that we invented to say digital art.
Yeah.
But there's a way like to know who owns what. So there's like proof of ownership of every NFT.
And
But it's basically just
every
digital
transaction is online. You can know everything.
Wow.
Who sold
The
what for
history.
what amount. The history is there. Basically, that's all you need to know. And I want to change subject because I'm so tired of speaking about NFT.
I don't use the word NFT anymore. I just say digital art.
Really?
I try to.
to not upset you over it.
Because,
no.
Like people who have no idea what NFTs are, they get angry as soon as you say NFT and their brain just shuts down and they don't listen to what you
That's true.
say.
That's what I just did, right?
Exactly.
I was like, I don't want to talk about this.
But it's like, it's a new technology and it's overwhelming for some people. And that it has so much potential.
There's an issue with the environment with NFTs. That's why it's hated sometimes.
But right now, the second biggest crypto, Ethereum, just became 99.9% less polluting.
Polluting.
But
That's
how
a word.
is it? Now I'm going to sound
Anyways,
really...
let's not talk about NFTs.
But now I have one final question. I might sound foolish though, but if it's digital, why is it creating so
That's a good
much
question.
environmental issues? Like, isn't production of canvases, wood, paint worse?
I guess we could argue
I don't know.
a real
I'm
physical
just-
painting
You know why?
is work.
Just to
is worse. I don't know.
vulgarize it, in order to keep the tokens, the all this digital money and all the transaction, we need a ton of computers. Like you can't even imagine the amount, and that's
Okay, yeah.
more polluting than anything else. Apparently, I don't know, but I've heard
That makes sense.
I've-
My mind didn't go there, but yeah.
I've heard horrible numbers. What? I've heard horrible numbers.
But the thing is, like, if you make a real painting, you need to go buy the canvas somewhere, and then this place pays electrical bills, and there's a big warehouse. They heat the air in the winter, and they use.
I don't think it's as much.
air
I think it's like
conditioning, and then-
exponential.
No, I know, but if you take into account everything that it took to make your actual physical painting, then if it adds up, and you can argue like your painting is actually polluting the planet and the atmosphere.
Unless
But-
you crush like leaves and create
Yeah,
your
you're-
paint with like orange leaves and
Some people do
and
that.
raspberries
Respect.
and blueberries.
That's awesome. Some people that's impressive. I love that. So it's an issue that I wanted to talk about because it's always on my mind. We talk about NFT, and it's not that we don't care. Matt cares, and we're just excited that there's something that's going to be taken care of. This is something it's going to... Wait, I can't speak, but like people are working on that with the version 2.0.
To pollute less.
Yes.
Yes. Do you have any other question for Tam?
Yeah, I had another one actually. So, you talked earlier about Cuba and then Paris, and then you were born in Armenia.
No, I'm born here.
Sorry,
I'm born here, but I'm Armenian.
born here.
Yeah.
Your parents are from Armenia.
They're actually from Lebanon because
From
people should
Lebanon.
know 100 years ago there was the Armenian genocide. Not to get political, but so you have to talk about it. So our people got kicked out of the country. Basically, that's a gentle way of saying it. So many Armenians, millions of Armenians live outside of the country, and currently Armenia is actually under attack by Azerbaijan, and maybe the country won't even be there in a while. So.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why I'm not born in Armenia.
Oh.
Yeah, but anyway,
Your parents were here for how long before you were born?
My parents moved here in 84 and I'm born in 91 and I have a bigger sister. So basically they got married here and started making babies.
So it makes you 31.
1.
I can't believe it. She looks so young.
You're not 31.
It's crazy.
She's lying. It's a lie.
I'm jealous.
It's the big cheeks.
When I first met Tam, I was like, I had obviously a friend crush on you. I was like, oh, we could be sister. I was trying to like compare myself to you.
Really? I thought you were so creative. I was so inspired. And then pandemic happened and like everyone lost touch of everyone. I was so inspired by, honestly, when we met at Courcelles.
It's a bar.
It's a
our
bar.
favorite bar back in the days.
Where it's basically an artist's hub. It's a like dive bar, nothing too fancy, but
There's a musical open mic, and we're gonna segue this subject to your musical side. Tamara sings. Her partner. That's how I met her. Basically, I was friend with her partner Mike. He's a singer songwriter. He's great. He's really good, and you sing with him. Just like we
Yeah.
do painting together.
yeah. Oh, it's so nice
So
to be
cute.
artistic with your partner, honestly.
Do you have like songs on Spotify?
Unfortunately, no. Maybe one day. I'm still. I do write music.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have some songs. I'm a shy performer, and I'm actually trying to get out of my shell. And I went to an open mic a couple of weeks ago that my boyfriend hosted, so I felt a bit more safe to perform there. It was the Old Orchard one on
Yeah.
Monkland.
I'll come see you next time.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
can do your background vocals.
amazing. Yeah, honestly, the more friends behind me, the better I feel. But yeah,
I can play the triangle.
that's
really
all we
good at
need
this.
sometimes. Just like a bit of spice in the song.
I love triangle. I used to play triangle, like in elementary school. That was
Really? It was your instrument?
Yeah.
It's so cute. It's so much better than the recorder. The flute.
the flute. Well, I was really good at it. I
Really?
was
The
always
flute?
really musical, so I was like Titanic. I was playing it like
Amazing.
crazy. Also, like xylophone. Xylophone. I
Yeah,
guess,
xylophone.
is the best instrument. Fight me. Basically, why don't we use it anymore?
I don't know. It's so magical.
Such a cute,
People use it.
like Melanie Martinez, I guess. But
I haven't listened to her in a while.
what kind of music do you do? Folk.
Well, right now when it comes to performing, I have to say I just hide behind my boyfriend and I love to harmonize. This is
Yeah, me
my
too.
obsession. It's the coolest thing for me. Like
Your
this-
voice goes so well with his voice as well.
Thank you.
It's really great.
Thank you.
But
Oh.
what's his style?
He's very mostly country folk. He does. He plays a lot of gigs around Montreal, like a few times a week. So those are more cover shows where he'll do a lot of classic rock, but a lot of focus on country folk as well. And that's where he's leaning towards when terms of songwriting.
Shout out to Mike D. Ray, by
Mike
the way.
D. Ray, and he is called the Muddy Wheel. His band
Yeah.
is called the Muddy Wheel.
I knew him because I would always be in that circle of musician. I was not performing. I was just there
Yeah.
to be surrounded with artists. And I've seen him many times play. And then one time I realized he has a new girlfriend. And I'm like, I need to meet her. Like I have a good feeling. And she was there at the bar. And since then, I don't even speak to Mike anymore. You're my friend. No, but
Shout
for real,
out to
I see him in the street, but like I don't go out anymore, so I don't see him. But
We should go out. Me too. I wanna. I mean, I feel like most places I go to are Michael's shows, and I love to hear him sing. But sometimes I could go other places too.
yeah, we need to. We're gonna have a art session, like how do we call it? Art day.
I called it. I made a Facebook invite, and I called it Creative Art Day.
And if anyone's creative and have creative friends, do that. It's gonna be healing. It's gonna be productive. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's the best. I can't wait.
Me too. And it's all going to be, I mean, obviously, I don't have a very large home, so I couldn't invite like an unlimited, Matt, you can come if you'd like.
Oh, thank you.
As I'm saying,
I'll
I
be
don't want to
there.
invite everyone. But basically, like a handful of friends who I know are creative, and we could just get together. And I decided just to have like supplies all over the table, clay, drawing, painting, whatever you want. And you just chill. And
We used to do that when we were kids at when you were in preschool.
Yeah.
Like basically it's a table, your friends and art stuff. When I went to my friend's house, we would draw. Why we don't do it anymore?
I don't know. We need it
Bring
so
back
much.
Bring
this
back
thing.
playing with your
Creative
friends.
Art Day.
I mean, like art with your friends. Do you have other question? How long? It's 1 hour now.
Wow, it really does pass quickly.
Yeah. Dude, is there anything you want to say? Do you want to say what's your dream? Do you want to manifest some stuff?
I will manifest that. Let the stars continue to align the way they have, and I hope that everyone else's stars
grateful
get
girl.
aligned.
That's awesome.
That's all. Yeah.
It will. I know. I'm confident. It will, because good things happen to good people, and you're like one of the best person I know. That's why you're my friend.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And puppies. I manifest puppies.
Lots
Yeah.
of puppies.
And hopefully we can spend more time together.
Yes,
I want to
absolutely.
like be present. Anyway, how do we end
So
this?
before we end this, can you share your social media pages?
Of course. So I'm called Tamara Paramedical, Tamara space paramedical, paramedical. You can find me on Instagram. Depending on how I feel, sometimes I'm on TikTok. Right now, everything's deleted because they didn't like me. So mostly Instagram and Facebook and Google, and maybe other places as well. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
This was lovely.
Thank you. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry for anything. Never mind.
There's no reason.
It was great talking to you.
All right. Peace out, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Stay tuned.